Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Hollow Knight. We have some really cool stuff to do today that I'm very excited to get around to. We have to make just a short little side trip to this area that's just to the southwest of the Lake of Oot. In fact, we were starting off from the Green Path Stag Station, and we're going to make that quick run there. We've already opened up... Ooh, hello, fly trap. We already opened up this path that you can only access from the north side. And it just creates a shortcut between here and Fog Canyon and the area that we're actually going to. So this is where we're going to spill out eventually. But we have to undergo a slight platforming challenge, and we wouldn't have been able to do this without having first gone through the Crystal Peak. Because the main crux of this challenge revolves around using the Crystal Heart Dash to weave your way through some of these armored bugs. And then also you need the double jump and the air dash, which you'll most likely get much sooner. And it even gets more fun for... Oh, whoops. It's just a slight input error. I dashed down because of the Dash Master. Just a slight little input mess up. That adds a little bit of fun to that challenge, too. That you actually have to pogo there. And you'll reset your double jump, your air dash. Now, you could go all the way over to the... I can't believe I actually got that so quick. That's a little sequence break. Not much of one. It just saves us having to go all the way around. Oh, who is this cool dude? What do you dream about? My brother Oro. What drove you to hide away deep down at the very edge of that ash-swept grave? Was it pride or fear or shame? Perhaps you should lay down your nail if it haunts you so, and find a new calling that eases your soul. A visitor? Why have you crept in here, little grub? Perhaps, like me, you have a taste for discovering new things. I am Shio, and in a previous life, I was a Nailmaster. Yes, the only thing that drove me was becoming stronger and honing my skills with a nail. I imagined it was my one calling in life, but that feeling faded over time. Now I seek a new calling, something that speaks to my soul and compels me forward. That's why I spend my time here, secluded, trying to master the art of creation. Painting, sculpting, these things bring a different kind of pleasure. You don't seem very moved by what I've said. Was it Shio the Nailmaster you were looking for? Did you come to learn a nail art? I'll teach you if you insist. Oh, the cutscene is so neat! And we even get something cool out of it. We get one of a couple of nail arts. Our very first one on, I think, the most useful one, which is the Great Slash. It's our charged move. The wielding of a nail and the wielding of a brush are not so different. We cut into the world so that we can peer deeper inside. For now, though, I have nothing more to teach you. Your path forward... only you can see it. Good luck. Let's try that out. You just hold it for a second and... nice big hit that does way more damage. So now we are going to take the Dream Gate that we placed, which brings us back to the Queen's Station adjacent to the Fog Canyon. And the Fog Canyon is once again going to bring us to a new area. The Fog Canyon is not a tremendously large zone in and of itself, but it does act as a hub to a bunch of different ones. It was first our hub between the Fungal Wastes and the Queen's Station, and the Queen's Station itself was a hub. But Fog Canyon is now going to lead to somewhere completely different, and a rather large and story-heavy zone, which we would have needed Isma's Tears to get to anyway. So there was no way we could have done this zone the first time we ran across this path. And like Green Path, it's very lush and very verdant. overgrown and kind of beautiful and peaceful, aside from some of the really nasty enemies here. Especially this moss-covered boy. And also, this is going to be home to a lot of platforming. A lot more than we're actually used to in Hollow Knight. And also, this little shadow barrier, we've seen something like that before. Indicates to us that we still need more and more items, more and more upgrades to continue moving on. So, we also can just get to the other side from it, so it's kind of just going to act as a shortcut for us once we get that. That gate, anyway. We have no need to go here yet. In fact, this whole upper path, for which we just unlocked a gate, not the most necessary way to go. Yeah, there's not much for us to do here yet. We could take this path. I'm on a mission for one particular thing. We can't do everything here anyway, so we're going to be coming back later. This time I'll face that fear. Nola will be proud. Tiny warrior, then you too come to test yourself against the traitorous tribe? The traitorous tribe, a deadly bunch they are that roost within these glades. I'd once have stayed well clear of them, but your actions have shown me the truth of it. We must face down our fears or be defeated by them. If we both make it through, we can swap stories of our adventures. I'd look forward to that. I love cloth. I love cloth. Stay alive, my friend. Whatever you seek in here, I'm sure that tribe won't look lightly on our intrusion. The traitorous tribe. So the good news here is that this means we can definitely finish Cloth's questline. The bad is that we didn't get to meet her in Deep Nest. We really would have gotten more flavor text, but I still would have liked to have seen it. Either way, since we went back into the Engine Basin, we're good to go on her quest. Really want to see the end of that no matter what. Also, that is definitely a Mantis Lord's attack, and those are indeed mantises. They are traitorous mantises, though, who've taken up roosting in the Queen's Garden. Oh shit, this is really not a good spot to be in. That one just faded into reality right next to us. Love these flipping platforms. They are part of why this becomes a real platforming challenge as we go on. That and all of the bramble that we've crossed. So unlike those below in the Mantis Village, these ones are called traitors, and even without Cloth's dialogue there, you would be able to tell that there's some difference because they didn't attack us on sight. Isn't this just the most intriguing place? So many discoveries waiting to be made. We're about to set off ourselves, so we can't seem to agree on which way to head. It's led to something of an argument between us. We should really stop squabbling about such petty things. Left or right? Which way is best? It should be a simple thing. Oh, and Cornifer is right over here. By the way, those two are named for an order of grasshoppers. Have you heard of Hallownest's queen? Apparently these gardens were once a retreat. Now some vicious types are crawling all over the place, and the plants have grown wild. And as inhospitable as it is, I've enjoyed my travels here. Care to see my efforts? As always, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's a stag station at the heart of these gardens. I would have taken my rest there if someone hadn't gone and locked the door. So that's all we're gonna get out of him. And look at this statue in the background. There are a few people that could be. It Looks like it's probably the Pale King, but at first I thought it looked a lot like Hornet. Now, speaking of Hornet, this brings up an interesting point. And much of it involves things that we didn't actually get to see. Oh, and so the platforming begins. Oh, shit. The Venus flytraps here are just mean. They're meant to make you feel even more claustrophobic and give you even less time to think and react. We did all of this just to go in a big circle and open up that gate that we saw. So, back to what I was talking about before. For starters, I didn't realize that the dreamers all have multiple lines of dream dialogue. Element Llama pointed that out to me. We dream-nailed Hera just once, and we got the lines bound for brood, bound for brood for child. So she was bound to something, her duty perhaps, for her child. And the other lines that we could have gotten if we dream-nailed her again were fair bargain made, give all, and for her. So she struck a deal and sacrificed everything for her child. So remember, we got all the stuff about a queen and a princess in the Weaver's Den. Well, the nature of that deal is elaborated on further if you get Hornet to show up after Hera is killed and her seal is broken. The problem is you have to do things in a really particular, specific order for that to happen. And you need to find her again in a zone that we haven't been to yet. Also note these mantises have the orange eyes, unlike the others. And they're, again, not attacking us. They're not staying their attacks on sight of us. Different faction. Too long spent together, we become as one. And we get something called the love key down here. This is the main thing that I wanted to come to the Queen's Gardens at this point for. I could have waited until the end of the game to come here if not for this. But no. Because it's before something in the next zone that I wanted to go to anyway, so may as well do most of this zone while we're here. Oh, and we get this opening back to the Moss Prophet. It's not the only connection we're going to open back up to other zones. So I was saying that you can get Hornet to show up after you kill Hera. And in order to do that, that zone that we're actually going to be setting off to near the end of this episode after we're done in the Queen's Garden, you have to go there first. And you have to find Hornet there, and then she'll show up after all the stuff with Hera in Deep Nest. If you do that, she shows up to mourn Hera. She doesn't begrudge you, because she knows why you had to do everything, and she respects that, but she says outright that she is grateful that Hera gave her life. Hera's her mom. So a child was granted to Hera, that child being Hornet, in exchange for a sacrifice. Hera, by the way, at some point became a queen. That's what all the queen and princess stuff was about in the Weaver's Den. Not exactly sure in the timeline of that. Yeah, we're gonna kind of just tank some damage here and ignore as many of these as possible, because fighting them on these platforms above the bramble presents just a whole slew of challenges. Oh, I hope she doesn't get another one. Thank you. I don't remember if we found this in the fungal wastes or not, but there's a little tablet with some etchings on it that says something about a dead sire of honored caste and their sealed mother, the common beast. Beast is not capitalized like a proper noun there, but, you know, a dead child being born to a beast and being of honored caste does sound an awful lot like the child of royalty, specifically Hera. So that speaker, if we break that, that's gone forever, I think. Yeah. Just shows up with the bench to play some pleasant music. And we ruined it. I don't actually remember what this path leads down to, but hey. May as well check it out. So, this is a little bit of speculation. It's possible that Hera lost her first child, sired by someone else, perhaps before she was queen, and went to the king and bore his child. Maybe that is when she became royalty, and her reign as a queen was pretty short-lived. Because, oh yeah, this just leads back down to Deep Nest. Okay, this is the path I was thinking of a little bit earlier. And because he sired this child with her, because he sired Hornet, the exchange was that she would become one of the Dreamers, who would seal away the infection along with the Hollow Knight. What matters is that Hornet is definitely her kid, and that the deal she made was to become a Dreamer to seal the infection in exchange for her. The lost, or the dead sire, that child, is something that we're actually going to explore a bit more later on, with regards to possibly who the father was, and some other details. We're actually going to visit that character's grave in the Queen's Garden. Oh shit. This is not great because we ran into that. Also, I'm never patient enough with these. Oh, again. I have to watch when they leave their corpses behind. Which they don't do if you kill them with the Shade Soul. Oh, that's no good. Okay, we have to be a little bit more patient with you. There we go. I think that's it. Now, also on that Fungal Wastes lore tablet, there's a lot about the traders and those whose borders we share, which would be, you know, the Mantis Village and then further in Deep Nest. And there are some implications to think over about who the father of the dead child was because of that. I think it was the leader of the trader mantises. And quite possibly the mother was Hera? Not entirely sure about that last bit. What I know for sure is that the leader of the Trader Mantis tribe, who we'll actually meet, did lose a child. Also, we're not doing this yet. Not quite what we're looking for. Also, another fun little tidbit. Hornet was supposed to be born to Hera, raised by the Pale Queen, and named by Vespa. Hive Queen Vespa, you know, the bee lady. No idea if that's the case in the final game, though. That was the original intent, though. Nope, that's not quite it. Want to be doing something else real quick. First, we're just going to heal up. Then we'll come over to the left side that we ignored. Oh, I forgot about these enemies. In the small numbers we get when we're first introduced to them, they aren't too bad, but they get really annoying. They hop around like ticks. Might be what they are, I'm not sure. Grasshoppers? I mean, they're covered in moss, so grasshopper. Be kind of a pun, but they don't look anything like grasshoppers. Also, look at this big fella, who is just, we don't really know what the deal with this is. Looked like it only had 4 eyes, otherwise I would say it might be a statue of Hera. The proportions were a little odd for Hera. I'm not really sure what the deal with that statue is. I would love to hear. Oh god. Yeah, that's where those enemies get annoying. Do I have to take that path yet? Let me put that off for a sec. Oh, I managed to kill that one before it... Shit. Before it got its ring out. Its sick ring blade. And I know this dead ends up here, but might as well get this. Oh, hello. Wait, was that Dream Nail for the fly trap? No, right? Alright, now the path that I didn't want to take. So we are just going to tank a bunch of damage going through here, and we're going to have to be okay with that. Because I could either lame it out and try to fight those, or just take the hits. And that'll be the case for a couple of sections coming up here. Oh no, come on. There's a reason they give you this soul totem here. And so you can at least be close to full health for something coming up. Because, boy, this sure looks like a boss room. Oh, hey, look at that little dude. We're gonna ignore him for just a second. Just a quick second. So we came across this locked door, but we went all the way around, and this is that locked up stag station that Cornifer was telling us about. It's a real dick move that they hide this stag station. That's the only way that you can get in here. They at least give you the paid toll bench, but damn. It's not a convenient location to access without this stag station. Oh, but he found it. He found the Stag Nest where he was born and raised. Oh, that's so great. I've yet to go there again. My duty binds me to travel only where I am called, but if you wish to see it yourself, I could take you there. None may remain to welcome us, but the nest is still a sight to behold. Give me the word and we'll go there at once. So after you have taken him all over the world of Hallownest, he finally finds the Stag Nest where he was born, and it is a location that we can go to. Even as overgrown as they become, gardens are still beautiful. I'm sure the Queen would be happy to know that. Lovely. Still talking about how you're old and achy. It's fair enough. Yeah, there it is at the bottom, the Stag Nest. And it's in the far northwest corner of the map. The next place... Oh, actually, there's something we still have to do. Almost forgot about this friend. Almost took off forgetting about you. Marmu! Oh, the queen is coming. I've been waiting so long and now she's almost here. I feel like I'm about to burst. I've kept it safe, this sacred garden. I've kept it safe for all this time, and soon the queen will return and teach me to fly. Shall we wait together, stranger? Shall we play together? Marmu is adorable! And even a Dream Warrior fight. And you can just bounce him around, much like the Dung Defender. Now, I will say that I'm pretty bad at this fight. And you can get around this by just not playing along and like dodging out and picking your moments. Or you can just wait in one spot and juggle them around. And I try to do that, but I find that I'm really fucking bad at the timing for it. And to make matters worse, I even have the Mark of Pride, which gives me more leeway. Like, it gives me a longer reach on the nail. And I still am not good at this. Oh, but Marmu is fun. Oh, stranger, you're strong. Much stronger than me. I've been waiting a long time, stranger. I've been fighting a long time. I'm very, very tired. The queen will be here soon, and I just need to sleep a little. Wake me when the queen arrives, stranger. Perhaps the queen will teach us both to fly. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh my god. Oh. That's actually really sad. Protector of root and leaf, we honor you. Marmu is the best! Marmu is the best! We love Marmu now. All of us. On this channel, we love Marmu and Pibby. Okay, now it's time to finally get to where I wanted to go all along. Which is going to be connected to the King Station back in the City of Tears. You know, I may have already shown part of this. I don't remember. We may have seen this, just a little bit of it. But from the King Station, we're going to drop down to this false Stag Station with the broken bench. And we're going to clear out and keep going to the right to this hidden cavern. Yeah, we must have done this before, because normally there is a Caberpipper there. And up here, there's a pink padded room blocked on either side, and we can't jump up. So that's a tower that we can't yet climb, so we have to go deeper in. And the zone that we go deeper into is the Kingdom's Edge. We aren't done trying to get to that tower. That's going to be our main objective for now. And then we'll tackle the rest of the Kingdom's Edge later on. But in order to get to where we are going, we're just going to climb this very vertical shaft of the level, complete with these glowing white roots and all of this. They almost look like feathers, don't they? And it piles up like snow. You know, we did just get a character who referred to someone who secluded themselves away at the edge of the world in an ash-swept graveyard. Also, there's something coiled in the background. Looks like a larger version of these flying things. There's a lot to go on here. By the way, this is the dreaded Primal Aspid. Oh, the big spooky enemy. Oh no, Primal Aspids. And yes, that one is actually the Primal Aspid this time. Characterized by them shooting 3 shots instead of just the 1. That's it. Those are Primal Aspids. Oh god, so terrifying, the Primal Aspid. Here we go. Now we're in the Tower of Love. We circumnavigate our way in here. Let's just go and open that door up. So we can now connect the City of Tears to the Tower of Love. So we don't have to, if we ever wanted to come back, take the same route in. And also, so we have a shortcut to another section of the Kingdom's Edge. I can't wait to do the Kingdom's Edge next time. So we're going to use the love key that we just picked up in the Queen's Gardens to enter this, the Tower of Love. Listen to all these lewd noises. And also, all of these jars are the same ones that we normally find Pibbies in. So this dude is pretty cool. Let's just listen to him for a sec. I also love their music. So this is not a particularly dangerous fight, especially not from the point at which we are fighting the Collector. If you come here before you can one-shot the ads, yeah, it becomes a lot more complicated. That's kind of a theme with any of the bosses that incorporate ads. Nowhere near as bad as Flukemarm, with the need to one-shot the ads, but it's still really helpful. And as far as the Collector itself, it doesn't really attack you that actively. Sometimes its short hops and its drop downs can hit you, and it'll deal contact damage. The only ways it directly ever attacks you, though, is every now and then it'll reach its arms out towards you after a couple of hops. I do like how the pace gradually picks up, though. It just becomes a little bit more hectic. My love, protected at last. That's why it's called the Tower of Love. It loves whatever it was collecting. Also, he's made from the same inky blackness that your shade is made out of. And that we now expel with the Shade Soul in the Descending Dark. Oh! These were the things he loves, of course. Many, many Pibbies! Many Pibbies! Many, many, many Pibbies. Well, now we know that he was on the up and up because he was just protecting all the Pibbies. We get the Collector's map as well. So this actually answers why there are all these Caberpibbers in jars. But it doesn't answer what he thinks he's protecting them from, which is a mystery that we will also solve. Eventually. You know, I ended the episode and then realized there was still something in the Tower of Love I wanted to show because it's bizarre. So this is the Vitruvian grub, based on Da Vinci's sketch of the Vitruvian Man. The Collector loved the Pibbies a lot. Thought they were perfect, apparently, and wanted to protect them. Again, we will figure out what the Collector thought he was protecting the Pibbies from. That'll come later, though. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.